Hello everyone! Don't you just love this gorgeous weather? Welcome to the Philippines. It's the Philippines time. And hello Dragon Boat Race! How are you? Who are Filipinos out there? Look at that! Wow! Well, hello. As they say it in Korea, 안녕하세요. In Japan, they say konbanwa. And we're in Indonesia, they say salamat pagi, salamat datang, which is afternoon. In the Philippines, we say magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. We welcome you to the Philippines as we present to you this fabulous group of dancers called the Philippine Performing Arts Dance Company. We hailed all the way from Tampa, Florida to be here for the first time here at AsiaTrend.org Expo or Asian Expo. We hope you will enjoy the show as much as we will enjoy presenting it to you. So enjoy the afternoon as we welcome you to the Philippines. Music please. The Philippines has 7,107 islands. Today we're about 107 million Filipinos with about 10 million in Manila alone. But then we got all our influence during the Spanish time in the 15th century when Spaniards came all the way from Spain and rediscovered our country. We were before that Muslims. Our names were Muhammad, Abdullah, but when the Spaniards came they introduced Christianity and we all became Catholics. Today we have 95% Catholics. We have 85 different dialects. That's how intermingled the Filipinos are, and of course we have a strong Spanish influence. And so now, ladies and gentlemen, with the music of the guitarra, the bandurria, the mandolina, imagine yourself in the Philippines during the Spanish era in the 15th century when the Filipinos looked like lovely señoritas and handsome caballeros with dances very strong Castilian influence introduced to us by Spain. So sit back, relax, and here are, welcome to the Philippines in the 15th century with dances we call Recuerdos de Europa or Memories of Europe. Performing Arts Company. Did you like that show? Ah, nice, huh? Now let me continue to educate you about who has been to the Philippines. Raise your hands. You have? Wow, that's nice. And Filipinos, are you around here? You must have been to the Philippines, right? You're born there. As I was saying, in the 14th century, before then, they said, history says that the Philippines was a beautiful 7,107 islands in the middle of the Pacific. They say that probably the first Filipinos were aborigines, which now you will find in New Zealand or Australia. But there are still some of them in the Philippines. But also in the lowlands, they said the Filipinos were Polynesians. So about 15 years ago, the United States and the United Nations actually changed the status of the Filipinos. Instead of Asians, we are now considered as Pacific Islanders. For the reason, Pacific Islander includes the Hawaiians, the Polynesians, the Maoris, and all the other Polynesian, because those were the original Filipinos. But then in the 14th century, an Arab sheikh came down with camels all the way from Saudi Arabia, traveled into Asia, ended up in the beautiful island of the Philippines, and he said, I can't go any further, it's the open Pacific. So he settled there and introduced Islam. So those people who didn't want to believe in Islam, especially the Aborigines, they're afraid of the ocean. So they pushed them, the Muslims pushed them to the cliffs and they committed suicide. But then guess what happened to the lowland? They were sailors. So the Polynesians built boats and they all ended up, as they say, some in Guam, some in Hawaii, some in Fiji. And those who stayed became Muslims. And that's how our names became Muhammad, Abdullah. But it didn't last long. It didn't last long. After 9 years, the Spaniards came with a Portuguese navigator, the discoverer Ferdinand Magellan. He said, this is a beautiful, lovely island. I'm going to name it after my king of Spain. At that time, Portuguese was under Spain. And then we were called the Islands of Philip. The Spaniards called it Las Islas Filipinas. And so they stayed, and we thought they would just stay for a few years. They decided they love it so much. We were bountiful of South Sea pearls and gold and emerald, which now you will see all over Europe. All the crown figures of Europe, you will see the pearls. They all came from the Philippines during the 15th century. But that's not the story. They stayed and stayed and stayed for 400 years. So the Filipinos, instead of Muhammad, we became Manuel, Miguel, Jose, and that's our name today. And of course, after 400 years, we got our independence. Thank you to the Americans who came to rescue us from the Spaniards. And then, of course, we thought, we're going to be Americans. And we were under the United States for 52 years. So that's quite a lot. And after that, we got a real independence. And that's why today you see the variety of Filipinos in our blood. From the Maori Aborigines, very dark Filipino, to the beautiful Filipinos who are Miss Universe, Miss International, the mixture of Europe, Asia, Polynesia, that is the Philippines. And so now, ladies and gentlemen, our time is up. We hope you have enjoyed and learned something about the Philippines. And as we say it in our country, mabuhay, long live, and we hope you enjoy the show. Thank you.